Hey everybody, how you doing? Uh, this video I'm going to walk through the syllabus for our online poetry class for fall 2024. So please, I hope you all logged on to Blackboard and you just watched my brief introduction video there. So here is our syllabus. Let me pull this up and walk through this for everybody. All right, here we go. Uh, English 1220, Introduction to Poetry. And what I always do is thematize the courses. This class I'm going to be calling Hunger Artists, and this is the broad theme that will frame the course, and we'll be reading the poems through. So there's my name, Charles Kell. You can just call me Charles. My email address. If you ever want to meet with me through Zoom or anything or on campus, email me and we can set up a meeting. So here is the university's or the college's description of the course. The purpose of this course is to deepen the students' engagement with the metaphorical nature of language through understanding and enjoyment of poetry. The selection of poems focuses on what poetry means and does, what needs and desires poetry fulfills in its writers and readers, and the cultural context and conditioning that define poetry and place value on its existence. This class is distance learning, remote asynchronous. We won't be meeting. I will be posting videos on the poems, videos on the assignments that walk through and lessons. Some of these videos will have different dates because I've recorded them before, but just stick with the dates that are on the assignment sheets and the syllabus. It's your responsibility to watch and take notes on these videos. Even though we are not meeting, the course syllabus will be structured based on Mondays and Wednesdays. This will help you guide where you should be and when you should be completing the readings and assignments. Everything will be located on our Blackboard site. It's your job to keep up with the readings of the work and basically what is going on in the class. You need to be proficient and comfortable navigating Blackboard. If at any time during the semester you feel lost or if you want to work on and cover additional topics, it is your job to let me know. The entire class and the readings will be available on weekly sessions on our Blackboard page. So that's located on our toolbar here, and I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go over the Blackboard page in a second too. So here's the course theme. Late in Franz Kafka's short story, A Hunger Artist, the supervisor asks the hunger artist why he continues to hunger, and he replies, "Because," said the hunger artist, raising his haggard head a little and whispering with puckered lips as though preparing for a kiss directly into the supervisor's ear so that he would not miss a word. "Because I cannot find a dish I liked. Had I found it, believe me, I would not have made a fuss, but would have eaten my fill, the same as you or anyone else." Those were his last words, but the broken look in his eyes bespoke the firm, albeit chastened conviction that he was still hungering. And this is what I want us to posit and ask when we think of poetry. What does it mean to hunger, to be hungry? And I don't mean physically hungry. I mean emotionally, spiritually, psychologically, philosophically. In what ways do we hunger? How are poets hungry or hungering? How are the poets on our syllabus hungry? What are we hungering for when we make the difficult decision to read poems or to read and write anything at all? So think about this. Why are you taking poetry? What do you want from this class? One thing I'm going to define reading as here. Here's my definition of reading. Reading is an always ongoing process where we encounter others, the world, and ourselves. Reading literature and poetry is to encounter alterity or otherness, that which is different. Through different literature, we engage, encounter, and brush up against various alterities. And by alterities, I mean difference in all of its manifestations: religion, beliefs, education, sexuality, gender, class, race, anything, right? Any type of difference. This is what the philosophical word alterity means, which could enable us to see how others live and in some ways give us a sense how we live. What does poetry do? What is poetry? What do you want from poetry? In this course, we will examine these questions as well as concentrate on reading a diverse body of poems. So think about these things. It is important, I will argue, necessary to embrace ambiguity and difficulty. The fact that that poems, poetry, and great literature have no easy answers. So that's my little setup for the course. Here are the learning outcomes. Display a working knowledge of poetry as a literary genre. Identify and describe distinct characteristics of poetic forms. Analyze poetic works for their structure and meaning using correct terminology. Write analytically about poetry using MLA guidelines. Effectively communicate ideas related to the poetic works during class. So that's what we'll have done by the end of the semester. These policies really refer to in-person classes. Be careful with email if you can find information on our Blackboard sheet like when's a paper due, how much it's worth. Let's be mindful of each other with email, and I'll be mindful of you. All right, look at the Blackboard, read the syllabus, read the assignment sheets, read everything. And if you're struggling with papers or the discussion boards, then email me. So that's that. There are no required books or anything for the course. I'm providing all the readings through Blackboard, and I'll show you that in a minute. Here's the grading policy. Here's what the course is, what you'll have to do. So obviously it's an online course, so there's no attendance, but you'll get 125 points if you turn your work in on time. If any of your work is turned in late, there'll be points deducted. So that's what 125 points is for. So I base each class off 1,000 points. It's easy to get your grade then. For example, if you finish with 940 points, you have a 94%. So here are the only assignments. You'll have 10 discussion boards, and I'll go over that in a separate video. 10 discussion boards, one a week, where you'll reply to a couple poems through short answers. Those will be one a week, 10 discussion boards, and you have 3 papers, 3 short papers. The first one is 2 pages. The second one is 2 to 3 or is 3 to 4 pages. And the third one, you can write a traditional analytical paper or you'll have a creative options. That is it. 3 papers and discussion boards. The grades will be available on your papers with detailed comments through Microsoft Word, track changes on Blackboard. I want you all to do really well in the class. So if you don't get a grade you like on a paper, you can revise and resubmit. Now, I'm not going to look at papers early, but you can revise your grade. You can revise your paper and turn it back in for a higher grade. Do the work. I want everyone to get an A in this class. I want everyone to do well. So if you just do the work and follow along, you will do well. If you have academic accommodations, contact the DSS. Here's the structure of our class. Thematically, with Hunger Artists, we'll be looking at poems on family, desire, society, war, identity, experimentation. We'll have a section on ekphrastic poetry. Ekphrastic poetry is poetry about art. Our poems will span contemporary works back to mid-20th century and even earlier. My plan is to read a lot of different poems from diverse people. So here's the course, right? Week 1, September 4th. So here's what I want you to do. Read this stuff, and whatever is assigned on these days, if you go to follow this syllabus, follow this guideline here, and that's through the whole class. There's paper 1 handout, then paper 1's due, paper 2 handout, paper 2 due, through the end. And you see this course schedule here. It will correspond, for the most part, to our course schedule on our Blackboard page under weekly sessions. So I have the whole class mapped out here, all 15 weeks. So you see, click on week 1. And there's Henri Cole's Oil and Steel. Here's some notes on poetry. There's a video of me reading Oil and Steel. Here's some other poems and here's the essays, a Harold Bloom essay and a T.S. Eliot essay. So that's week 1. If you go to week 2, here's C.D. Wright's tours. There's a video of me reading C.D. Wright's tours. So I'll have videos on most of the poems. So you can watch the videos, take notes, and I answer the questions. But all the poems are here. See, there's tours, right? Everything's located under weekly sessions, and our syllabus will correspond with this. So everything is found here. So it's good for you to get on Blackboard and play around and navigate. Here are the discussion boards. If you go to our homepage, there's the guidelines for discussion boards right there. Here's the discussion boards for poetry. You can follow along with that. Here are the assignments. Click on assignments, and all the papers are up there. There's videos on the assignments where I walk through them. And like I said, I made this video for another class, but it's the same assignment. Just stick with here's the assignment sheet, right? The first paper is due October 2nd, and that walks you through the whole paper, right? Videos on the assignments, that's there. I have a bunch of other videos here, poetic terms and devices. If you want to look at any of the stuff on poetry, look at all these things on poetry here, poetic terms and devices. Here's essays and notes. You don't have to read these, but these are there if you want to read other things and look at other things on poetry. So that's basically our Blackboard course there. Like I said, this is just a quick video going over the syllabus. There's the syllabus. Our week by week there will correspond again to the weekly sessions. Please, if you have any questions about the class, anything at all when you're walking through it, email me and we could talk about anything. All right, everyone, good luck. It's great to talk to you.